Hey guys, it is Monday here in West Virginia. It is time for us to do our Mopar Monday. Today I have a new GTX to crack open for you guys. One I've been looking for a couple months now. I had one, but there was something wrong with the paint on the front fender, so I ended up turning it into one of my junkyard cars, and I actually ended up selling it when I was kind of downsizing that diorama. So now I got another one. It is this guy here. These are fairly rare. I'm surprised they're not worth more than what they are, but when you do find them, most of the time you're only going to pay like 10 to 15 bucks for them plus shipping, but they are very limited. It is limited to one of 912 cars, and Collectibles Corner hired Greenlight to make a lot of exclusive cars for them. This midnight edition, and then they had like a black primer edition. I believe they're the same guys that had Greenlight make the Panther Pink 70 Charger and the Plum Crazy 70 Charger. They were also limited to 912. Now the Chargers do claim like 20 to 30 bucks a piece whenever they do come up for sale. I've seen the purple one sell as high as 40 something, but that's a rarity. But this blue GTX and then their Cudas, they have a couple really cool Cudas that I'm eventually going to try to get too. They're both black. One has a white hockey stripe, and then the other one has a red hockey stripe, and they both look really, really good. So eventually I will get them, and we do have some really cool Challengers coming, 70s, that will be here probably within the next week or so. So hopefully for next Mopar Monday, we'll be doing a segment on 70 Challengers, a few different ones from different manufacturers. So it'll be a nice variety. So today, we're going to take a look at this guy as soon as we get it out of the package, and we're also going to take a look at all the other years for the second gen GTX. And anyways, this doesn't really have much on the backside, just where to find Collectible Corners online, their licensing stuff, and the autograph of the designer. I'm not sure who it was. And licensing for all the companies. And I've already cracked this guy open, how I always do, cutting along the back side. And anyways, this would have been a really, really cool number. It was just one off. 439. I wish it was 440. That would have been awesome. This is a 440 car, so that would have been awesome to see that number on the bottom. But it's 439. And anyways, the Chargers also have this like charcoal gray finish on their bases. The Panther Pink and the purple one. I know one of them does. I can't say both do, but I think they do. But one for sure. I don't know if that's like a thing that Collectible Corners had Greenlight do, or if Greenlight randomly does that on some of their pieces. Not sure. But anyways, opening hood and such. It's got the 440 in there, nicely detailed engine compartment. And no stripes on the hood, nothing like that. Has some rocker panel blackout kit, and then it has the double side molding trim. Your GTX emblem there. Little paint flaw there, but nothing that bad. Not as bad as the first one I got. Nice detail on the back with the GTX logo and such. And it is Alex's toy. So you can see that on the plate. That must be somebody that works at Collectible Corner or owns Collectible Corner. A couple other little speckles on the roof, but no big deal. As I said, these things are getting harder to find, but the price really hasn't jacked up on them, which I was really thankful for, because I had to get a second one, because the first one, it had something wrong with the paint on the fender. It was kind of like bubbled, and then the fender trim was painted really weird. It was way off. So I ended up getting rid of it, well, by turning it into a junker. And then I bought another one of these. So this is the collectible corners version. So we're going to back it up 1 year and look at the 268s that I brought out today. One is actually one of my favorite 60s B-body from Greenlight. I love this color, this brandywine color. It is absolutely gorgeous. It looks really good on this car with the red line tires, the Magnum wheels and such. This car is very, very nicely done. Looks really good with the white stripe, the centered blacked out hood. This thing looks fantastic. So this is another one from Greenlight, and under the hood is detailed up. Has the, I believe, 440, and it's painted like a turquoise blue. I think that's error correct for that year. And then we have a yellow one, and this is another really great looking car. This is about as high impact as you could get for this year in 68. But yeah, it just looks really nice. Nice detail on the back panel, the tail lights, and the side stripes on this guy is black with a black top. Nice grille detail. And as you could see, this one has a little bit different striping on the hood. Yeah, this one has more of like the Roadrunner stripe. But I guess it wasn't for one certain model. I guess it's just part of the trim option you get. But I remember seeing this on both of my 68 Roadrunners that I have from Greenlight. But this stripe kit here reminds me of like the 69 year. So I'm not sure. But anyways, I guess you get both kind of stripes on both years, I'm assuming. So those are the 68s. Now let's go to our 69s again. We already looked at the one that looks like it's B5 blue. This guy here, actually this one's the B5 blue one, sorry. At least it looks like B5 blue. Maybe a little bit light, I don't know. But this is more along the lines of like that Jamaica blue that they had. Anyways, here is the other one. This came from the Hitch and Tow Hollywood set of the Graveyard Cars. Very cool looking GTX. Love the wheel choice. The Magnums look really good on this car. And the paint, the blue with the black top and the black rocker treatment, looks really good. Under the hood's subtle and conservative, but still nice. Looks pretty good. And then there's the difference in your tail lights and stuff between the 68 and 69s. Quite a bit different on the tail lights. The grills, however, are pretty similar. There's a little difference, but it's not as obvious as the tail lights. And if you ever go up on one on the side profile, the marker lights are a dead giveaway. 68s, all 68 Mopars had those little round marker lights. And then 69 is when they started using rectangle recessed style marker lights, but every car was kind of its own. They did that all the way up until 72, and then in 72 they went back to a standard marker light that all of their cars used. It was the surface mount one that they used actually all the way to the 90s. But 69 to 71 had some really cool marker lights from Mopar. I know it's a weird thing to say, but their marker lights did look awesome compared to any other car. They had a lot of different styles and stuff. They looked just really sweet. So that was the 69, and then we have a Sublime. I think it's, well, maybe not Limelight, I think maybe. But anyways, this is another 69. Pretty much the same exact car, except it's got hood stripes, and it's That's Sublime, Limelight. I don't know. I don't think it's Sublime or Sassy Grass. It's more of a, I think, a Limelight, I believe, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not so good with the color names on all of them, especially the greens. They had a lot of greens, like more of a conservative green is this guy here. This is a 70. We'll get to him in a second. Then you had this. Then you had one that was neon green, but a little bit darker than that. That was the Sublime and the Sassy Grass. This, I think, is Limelight, I think. But anyways, I could be wrong. So, nicely detailed under the hood. And this guy is running a Hemi. Pretty cool car. And if I remember right on the Barrett Jackson facts about this car, this is a clone. It's not a real Hemi car. They cloned it as a Hemi car, if I remember right. That's the one thing nice about sometimes leaving them in their packages, because sometimes the package does tell a little story, but not all the time. But I don't know. I'd rather have them all out so I can look at them better and play with them and things like that. So, really cool car. Like the color combo. So that's when you first started seeing some high impacts. But 70 and then 71 was the year that had the most high impact color. 70 was pretty good too. 69, they just started to debut a couple of them, and then things went wild in 70 and 71. So now we're going to move on to the 70, and this is another one that is in this color, and it looks really good with the white stripe, and then has a black hood stripe, which is kind of a little bit contrasting, but it looks good. And this is another one that I really like. The 70 in general, because of the side trim, the scoop. I love that quarter panel scoop. Love the flat front end grill look to the car, and the flat back end too, with the long horizontal lights that are split in the middle horizontally. They look really cool. 70 was a great looking year for a lot of cars. I know some people will beg to differ, but I don't know, it's just my opinion. I love 70 and 71 Mopars. They're fantastic, and that's when we first started seeing our E-bodies too, which was a really cool little car. So that's in Sublime, or Limelight probably. And this is the other green. I don't know what this is, Sherwood green or something like that. If it was a GM or Chevy, it would be British racing green. I think the Chevy British racing green was a little bit darker than this. This, I don't know if it's called Sherwood or whatever, something like that. But this thing looks really good. Black side stripe, black hood stripe, black top, black interior. Looks really good. And this is, once again, a more conservative color that people, I don't know, that didn't want to be noticed would get. Now, if you want to be noticed, that's the green you would pick. If you want to blend in, that's the green you would pick. So that is it, guys, except we do have 170 left. This guy here is cool because I have the 68 that looks almost like him. I think there's a little bit of a shade difference. It's a little bit lighter, but they both have the Magnums. They both have black side stripes, GTX. You could see that in 68, they were lower to the rocker. In 70, they went right down the middle of the car, right above the front wheel opening and such. And then you see just almost the same car, except the 68 had the black top. Really cool looking piece. And this is a 446 pack. Excuse me, guys, I'm losing my voice again. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's just winter time with my sinuses and stuff, losing my voice all the time. So, really cool piece. And that's going to wrap it up for our second gen GTX. That's a tongue twister for me. Show today, and we will be back again on Friday for our Free Friday, unless something else pops up during the week. Actually, it is. I got to show you guys a couple of customs that my buddy Gilbert Martinez sent me. These things are absolutely gorgeous. It is an S10 and one is a Caddy. They're Revell lowriders. I'll show those guys to you either tomorrow or Wednesday. They are absolutely gorgeous. I think I had them in one of my shorts lately over the weekend. Not sure, but you'll be able to see them up close and personal either tomorrow or Wednesday. So thanks for watching, guys, and turn on your notification bell so you know when we do drop new videos. We do a lot of spontaneous videos, so that's one thing. We're not always on schedule, except for like Mopar Monday and Free It Friday, but we do drop a lot of stuff in between those scheduled ones. So thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your week.